Hi, everybody. And welcome back to Play Like a Girl, episode 11. My bad. I am your host, Laura, and of course, you know we have wrong side, of course.
I'm Gianna, and we're going to do things a little different this episode. We had a guest plan, but we had some technical difficulties. So this time we're just going to do a little get to know Gianna and Laura.
Get to know your host, because we don't really ever talk about us playing sports, and we both have. So why not talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Play Like a Girl, episode 11. We hope you stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. Like Gianna stated before, we did have a guest plan for this episode, but she did have a little bit of technical difficulties coming in. So Gianna and I are just going to make this a little fun, off-the-rip podcast if we can.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to talk about like us and the sports that we've played. And I mean, we're both in college and we've had at least 20 years of sports experience. So why not talk about it, right?
Yeah, why not? Well,
what about you, Gianna? Like, let's dive right into it.
Okay. So I was going to ask you first, but my first sport that I began playing or participating in was figure skating, which is a little out of the blue. You don't really hear somebody who like professionally figure skates. I started that when I was 3 years old.
But like, what got you into that? Because like, I would have never thought about figure skating as a sport at that age.
Yeah. So basically, I have two older siblings, a brother and a sister. My brother pursued hockey when he was young, which made us grow up at the rink. So my sister wanted to figure skate, and my sister's like my biggest role model. So whenever I saw her on the ice, I was like, I want to do that. So then
That's awesome. And then did you play anything else, or you just stuck with skating?
No. So actually, it's a funny story. My brother played hockey, like I said. I also wanted to be like my brother. So in the middle of my skating season, I put on a pair of hockey skates and tried out for the team at my rink.
They had like a girls hockey team?
No, like I was on a boys, like it was a co-ed team.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So this was when I was really young though. I think I was in like the 3rd or the 4th grade when I tried that out. And then I had to choose between those two. And my mom was like, the schedules interfere too much. And she was like, leaning more towards skating. She was either like, you can stay and play hockey with the boys, or you can skate with your best friends here.
Yeah.
Like, my best friends.
Yeah.
They're skating.
Nice.
But I also did softball, but that's like the 4th grade. But what about you? When did you start your sports?
Gianna, that's so funny. Like every one of my friends is like, I played softball at some point. And I'm like, I literally feel like I'm the one girl who never played softball. Like I never even tried, like never just got the opportunity. I don't know. Yeah. But the sports I played were basketball when I was young and tennis when I was young. I had 2 older brothers and 2 older sisters. So they were both like, my brothers were into football and basketball. My sister was into basketball. Tennis was like my thing that I kind of like took on my own. My dad was a tennis pro. So I don't know. I really enjoyed tennis as a girl, and like, I realized I was decent at it. Like I could be good at this sport. So I stuck with it, and I stuck with basketball, and tennis was my main, like the one that I would really want to practice and like really want to get better at. And basketball was just like a fun thing for me. Like I really enjoyed the speed of basketball and like the team camaraderie of it, because tennis is pretty single or double player, like whatever. But those are my 2 sports that I literally played my entire life, and I still play like to this day for fun. You know what I mean?
Like honestly, pretty cool that you said that your dad is a tennis pro though. So like, what was that like growing up with him? Was he your coach?
Oh yeah, he's always been my coach. Like literally, he's been my coach basically for every sport. But like tennis, I know he knows what he's talking about.
Mhm.
He used to coach when he was like in college, so he would go to the camps and coach those kids. So I always knew that like, I mean, tennis also too. I grew up with the knowing that like same with figure skating. It's kind of like a sport where you have to have a little bit of money or like there's some prejudice behind it, like stuff like that. You wear your all whites, like rules like that. But I knew those kids that were like getting trained and like paying for those sessions. It was really nice just to like have my dad because I didn't necessarily have to do that. And I knew that I was like getting good teaching, obviously. So that was beneficial.
Yeah. And like you said, you have to have a little bit of money. When I was actually like skating is very expensive, especially like every single one of my siblings did it. So it's like a lot of money.
Yeah.
One of my coaches actually had kids, and like for my lessons, I would babysit his kids. So like,
what?
You know, like a little thing because like coach, like it's so expensive. So like
for sure.
a little bit of a back and forth type of thing. And I'd be like, okay, I love them. And then I can get free lessons from you because he was really good. He almost went to the Olympics for pair skating, so he was my dance coach. And I was like,
that's awesome. I would do the same thing. I mean, why not?
I mean,
did you like your close friends in high school skate with you? Like, they on the same teams?
Yes. So we had a podcast with Taylor. She was on Team Image, which is my team for I'm gonna say 4 to 5 years. And then she went to another team in New York. There's like 3 different teams in New York that everybody can skate on. But like so Taylor was my only, like not my only friend, but she was like one of my best friends that was on a different team. And then like, my best friends were on my team. Even though you're on separate teams, like you're all at the arena together and you're like, oh my God, like my best friend is taking the ice. Like I'll literally stand up and cheer for Taylor. And like when I was at nationals my freshman year of college, I literally like started my position in front of her and she was there and I literally saw her like screaming my name and I was like, I love you.
Oh, wait, that's so cute. Okay, yeah. So let's kind of talk about like the team aspect of sports and like why it's super important. Or I think it was super important for me. I don't know. I think like, like you're kind of saying you may not be on the same team as your friends, but I kind of like would play rec basketball, like YMCA basketball. You would have like 4 teams for the entire season. And it was literally all the girls that you would like go to middle school with. You all got set on separate teams and like you would practice and then like you would face each other on the game day at the YMCA. Like we would go and play our 20-minute basketball game on Sunday mornings. And like, we would absolutely like be so competitive with each other. But like, as basketball, you go down the line, you clap hands. We would literally just like hug each other and be like, I can't believe you're here, like with me. And like, oh, we're on opposite teams, but you're still my best friend. And like, that's so fun that we get to play together.
No, you know I mean? Also, like, we always talk about it on our podcast almost every week how great it is and how important it is to have like nice teammates or people that just have your back. Because when like in the skating world, when you are younger, a lot of the time, like, if you have a friend on a separate team, the girls are like I work camps, so I'm also a coach, so I know like the girls are like, oh, she's on that team, like I don't want to talk to her anymore. So grow like when you're younger, girls are like very like, no, I'm only friends with the girls on my team, but like as you grow up, like it doesn't even matter. And like skating is getting so not competitive, but it's growing so quickly, which is huge because if we can get synchronized skating in the Olympics, that would be amazing.
Ooh, that would be really cool.
All of the girls are striving towards that now. So like they're making friends. Like they go to Hayden camp, which is like Team USA for Boston. Like there's a camp that they hold, and all the girls make friends. And then they go to Miami University camp, and they all make friends, and they cheer for each other, which is so. Good. It's great to have a bond with the girls on your team, but knowing when you walk into a competition and you're competing against those girls that they still will have your back and be like, oh, that's Gianna. I met her in camp. I love her. Like,
for sure.
Like, it's just, I don't know. It's great.
No, it's definitely important to have that support system. I mean, like, honestly, so for skating, you don't do any, you were a kid and you would go out all at one time and skate, right? Yeah. But as you got older, did it become more individual?
Yeah. So I did synchronized skating, which is with a team. And then I did ice dance, which is with a partner. And then I did freestyle or like moves in the field, which is by myself. So basically the difference between that is freestyle and moves in the field is spinning, jumping, and then like turns and edges that you have to like master, and then you take tests, and once you master them you become a gold medalist. So
wow.
like individually I became a gold medalist in moves in the field and ice dance.
Wow.
My partner helped because for ice dance you had to do like partners and individually, so I'm a double gold medalist in those terms. But then for my team, like for my team there's so many
double gold medalists. I feel like that is like some hype. It deserves some hype.
Some. Well, yeah.
I mean, what I was saying was like, skating is an individual sport. Tennis can be an individual sport. For me, I played doubles for a little bit and I played some singles, and it is an individual sport. But when you have those teammates, like, and isn't skating quiet?
Yes.
Okay, so tennis is a very quiet game too. Like there's no cheering. There is like once you really reach the pro level and like they're at the arenas, but like there's not necessarily any cheering or like chants. There's obviously clapping, but when it's super quiet and like you're doing that, but you like in the middle of like throwing a serve or doing a spin, you see someone that you're like is there supporting you, it kind of like makes everything a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think the team aspect is something that like everyone should, experience at some point.
No, it's definitely huge. And I can say that if I didn't have like my support from my teammates with skating or with softball, like I honestly wouldn't have liked the sports as much as I did. And I probably would have been like, I don't think I want to do this anymore,
Oh yeah, for sure. I will say by my senior year basketball high school career, like at that point I was actually playing for Rhode Island College tennis. I got that offer to do that. It was D3, but I still was able to do that, which was fun, and I was kind of excited about that. So senior year, senior year basketball, it was kind of like a little bit of a joke. Like not a joke, but like I obviously love to go to basketball. I love to play it, but it was sort of like I don't necessarily need to be doing this. But my friend that I had on that team my senior year, basically that was the only reason why I was on that team. Like she said same thing about me. We stayed on that team just because like we wanted to finish obviously our 4 years. We're not going to quit. We've done it for 3 years. Of course, we're not quitters, but like, thank God we had each other. Cause that year was kind of just like fun. You know what I mean? It wasn't full serious, like, cause we weren't the best, but it was very much like, thank God you're on this team with me. I really appreciate you being here. And we've all had those moments too, especially like with our coaches.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. My coaches, if we're going to talk about coaches, like have had such an impact on me.
Oh yeah.
My team, this is a little bit sad, but growing up, my team, like we had a coach named Sylvia Muccio, and she founded our team. And unfortunately, she passed away with breast cancer when I was in, I think, the 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, everything. So our team story is like kind of like a strive for the best. Like when we had Sylvia, we were just like, we were doing our best. We were coming and like we were replacing. We were like getting 3rd, 4th, 2nd. And then when Sylvia died, like things were tough, and we had new coaches and girls were leaving the team, and we just thought that our organization was gonna like plummet to the floor.
Yeah.
And then my coach now, her name's Cindy Kim. She actually was the captain for Team USA, and she used to skate on Image before she came to us. Ever since like she became the coach, like our team has just like gone from here all the way up. And last year, like my freshman year, they asked me to come back and finish the season, and then the year after that, my team was given the envelope to be Team USA. So now that where my teammates are, like traveling all around the world with Team USA logos on their back, competing for the United States of America.
That is sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if they gave you that envelope, Gianna, would you have decided to not go to school?
I probably still would have gone to school, but it would have been sick if I had the envelope. I just aged off. Like I couldn't go back my sophomore year because I was over the age of 18.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't know what that rule was.
Yeah, a lot of the girls like skating. I missed a lot of school growing up, but like I was still able to keep up with my schoolwork. Like I would miss a week for nationals, or I would miss like 4 to 5 days straight, but then I would just like make it up, and my teachers would be like really they would be okay with. They wouldn't be okay with it, but they would be like, okay, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, they would try to work with it.
Like if it's something that you're passionate about, your teacher should be able to understand that for you.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're just gonna cut to commercial real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, everybody, to our 11th episode of Play Like a Girl. We hope you have stayed with us. Like Gianna mentioned before, this episode is kind of a little like on the fly. We had a guest and there was some technical difficulties, but Gianna and I have just been chatting for the past, 16 minutes. Why not?
And we hope you guys have enjoyed our little chit chat.
Yeah, a little storytelling. I have a question for you. Is that okay?
Yes.
What is like your favorite memory or kind of like where you felt most accomplished in your athletic career / life?
Okay. My favorite memory from my team is, okay, so I have an individual memory and a team memory. My favorite team memory is my senior year of high school. I thought it was going to be my last year of skating because I was like so set on going away to college and just like living like my life and being able to like just have a college life outside of sports, because sports was like my entire life growing up.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were at Easterns, which is the competition right before nationals, and we had to place like top 4 or 5 to go to nationals. And we were always neck and neck with the other team from New York. And we had a perfect skate, and we were waiting for our scores to come out after our after the performance was done. And we were all squeezing on each other's hands and waiting. And then we saw like 70 point whatever, and that was the highest that anybody has ever gotten for novice that year, which was our line. And we were like jumping up and down crazy, and it was such a good memory. There was tears running down our face. And then 2 weeks later we got 3rd at nationals, which was crazy because we never placed at nationals.
That's neat. I'm so corny because any story like that gives me chills. I've never skated in my life and I have chills right now.
The movies.
Yeah, it is like a movie.
And then I would say my favorite, most accomplished individual memory is when I got my gold medal in moves in the field, because I had to retake that test 2 times. And the day after I put my foot down during the test, and if you put your foot down, you fail. So I put my foot down, and then the day after I fractured my ankle. So yeah, I was walking down the stairs getting ready for softball practice the next day at school, and I literally like heard a pop. I missed a stair, my leg twisted, and I thought I was done. And I was
no.
Yeah, and I was gonna test 2 weeks later, and then I was like, okay, great, now I'm out for like a month or 2. And I had to work every day in the morning. I used to wake up before school with my coach. I used to go practice every day, every night. And then I finally got my moves in the field gold medal, and I was crying. My mom was crying. My sister was crying. I was like, oh my God, I did it. Because I didn't.
It was all worth it.
Because like how we always, on our podcast, we always ask, was there ever a time where you felt like you wanted to like quit and give up?
Yeah.
I was literally in the middle of my softball season and trying to get my gold medal for skating, and that just had to happen. I was like, it's got to be a sign or something. Like I should just I literally remember talking to my mom and being like, I should just quit. And I called my coach, and my mom was like, you need to talk to her. And that's why I was saying like some of my coaches like have made such a difference. Like she literally stayed on the phone with me, and she was like, you have worked so hard.
Yeah.
Like, how far you've come. You do not have to quit. Like we can get through this, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, you have literally 1 more test left. Like it would be one thing if you were starting from the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So she helped me from that. But what about you? What's your favorite memories from basketball or tennis?
Probably both accomplishment and favorite memory would be from tennis. I mean, like one of my very fond memories in high school was that we were the only D1 team. So, and like everyone would always like shit on tennis. Like, and I get it. Like, I get it. Tennis is slow. It can be boring. But like a lot of people in high school would just never give it its credit and like never give us females like kind of the respect of being D1.
Yeah.
And like we made that team D1. We had really good players on our teams my 4 years that I was there. So being the only D1 team and making it to like semifinals my junior year and then like finals my senior year was just really an accomplishment for the entire team and like made kind of me feel good about it because I was the captain of the team and like I had been on that team for 4 years. I know I just felt like that team was like my little mothership. Like I made it what it could be as best as I could be. I mean, I wasn't the best player, but I'm saying I tried to like support all the girls and be as best as I could. My biggest accomplishment was playing in college. And then when you come in as a freshman on a team, you kind of play like the lesser games, like the ones that don't get recorded. Like they're not the statistical games. And then you like challenge your players, then you can move up on the ranks. And one of the matches I was able to move up and I got to play and it was like an NEC game and it was a singles. I know. I played singles too, which was so dope. And I know. And I won. So I know. That was my biggest accomplishment, my first ever singles game, like college game, and I won. So that was that was fun for me.
Because sorry, I don't want to cut you off. I was just gonna say, like when you said you're a freshman, when you're a freshman, you're like expected to sit the bench. You're expected to just like walk. But you literally
I like challenged the older girl in practice. Like you had to challenge them the day before the match. And I was like, I have a challenge. And I did it and I won and I felt really bad about it, but it was like good for me. Like it showed my ability as a freshman and it was good. It was really fun for me.
Honestly, good for you.
Thanks, Gianna.
I'm so proud of you. I wish
I'm proud of both of us. We both did well with our we were sports all as our children and we both like kind of made it good.
Yeah.
We weren't professionals, but we did as best as we could.
We tried.
That's why we host a podcast that has professionals.
True.
Well, we hope you guys liked this episode. We know it was a little out of place, but we hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed our stories. I don't know.
I know I enjoyed it.
I know I enjoyed it. I learned more about you, which was fun. Well, we hope we see you guys next week. Monday at 8 a.m. You know, Gianna. Anything you want to say?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. always. All right. Well, it was really fun talking with you, Gianna. I had a good time.
Yeah, and we'll have our guest that we were going to have this week. We're going to have her next week. And you guys are not going to want to miss out on her because she's amazing.
Yeah, she has a lot of like accomplishment. Way more than we do.
Yes.
All right. Well,
a lot of our guests have had because she is incredible.
Yeah, she is. And we wish we could have had her on this episode, but she will be next episode, Monday at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
As you all know, this is the podcast called Play Like a Girl.
For the girls.
Bye, everyone.